Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RapChat podcast. And before we head into the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and also to subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and also leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every single week. I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
All right. Welcome, everybody, back to the podcast. Good to have everyone here.
Last one without
last
Sam.
virtual podcast.
Yeah, last Sam's virtual podcast. That's actually really hype.
Oh.
I can't wait, dude.
And it's cool because he'll get here on Friday, and then we record right on Sunday, so it'll be kind of like a quick turnaround.
I miss having Sam.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. I just feel like hold Sam's hand under the desk while we do these.
Yeah, and like playing footsies and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
classic part of the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves
That's the only way I get through these things.
We need to get like a when we if we ever upgrade the fucking studio or whatever, like we need to get like a foot
kitchen
cam,
table?
like a cam under the table that it switches to every once in a while, and we can just shows us all playing footsie.
the entire hour and a half. It's like
just the foot cam. Yeah. So Pascal Siakam had a great game. He's like running your fucking leg up there.
We're like just carefully caressing each other's thigh. We're talking like how we are now, except
that's what I'm saying. This is like super casual.
It's like, yes, Pascal Siakam had a great game. It's like
yeah. Okay, so if anyone's tuning into the podcast for the first time, you're obviously clearly getting the vibe. So today on the schedule we have game recaps. We're recapping the Portland game, and we're recapping the dreaded Portland game, and we're recapping the Charlotte game. I didn't get a chance to actually finish watching that before we started. I watched the first half.
The Charlotte one?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. I honestly should have watched the second half first.
It was.
I'll fill you in.
Yeah, it was just like a cool game.
Okay.
Nothing really crazy stood out.
I mean,
good game.
from what I saw, it's good to see more people from the bench getting to play. But we'll talk about that. Anyway, so then we're doing game recaps. Then we've got...
Then we're doing... we have just some like trade ideas for the Raptors.
Trade?
We'll trade like targets. You guys
Sure.
Target the deadline.
Trade deadline's coming up.
Yeah.
What is it? February 7th?
Shoot.
Or
10th?
10th,
I think.
right? That's
Okay,
right. Okay.
February
Yeah.
10th.
I
So
don't know
trade deadline's coming up.
When's the All-Star weekend? Is that the 20th weekend? Like 21st?
I think it's like the 18th, 20th, something like around there.
Cool.
Mid-February.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right on our February break.
Yeah. And then Player of the Week.
So, okay, yeah. So, player of the week, and then looking
Sweet.
ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, I rewatched the Portland game,
Lucky you.
and yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably gonna zoom through this one a little bit.
Please do.
Yeah,
Please do.
it's really nothing
For my own
special.
sake.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, we really had so first quarter really man nothing happened with our offense. We got cooked up by CJ. They were just cashing threes. We started the game 1 for 11.
Jesus Christ.
Our defense was chasing everything. We looked super tired. Fred is looking extremely tired. Gary looked. One thing I did note though was Gary was looking very confident, but he just wasn't hitting anything. And then Chris with 2 early threes was cool to see.
He's our only offense in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was the only.
Like,
It's
literally.
true. What was it like? It was like 4 to like 25 or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, dude, what?
Fred was 1 for
was
8.
awful.
Gary was 0 for 6.
And they just were cashing. Like, what is Anthony Simons?
Anthony Simons.
What is his name?
Anthony Simons. Anthony Simons.
Yeah, like Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway's real name's Anthony. So his name.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Say it slower.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony Simons. So yeah, second quarter, more threes for Portland. Rebounding was horrible, which is weird because the only person who I feel like, man, Yusuf Nurkic, dude, guy is like he's their 1 7-footer and he was getting all the rebounds. It's like, come on, guys, like what the heck? And then he's slow as hell. And our defense was getting a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, we were both turning the ball over. Portland near the end of that quarter, turning the ball over.
Except they were scoring off our turnovers.
Yeah, they were. We just couldn't. Yeah, they were hitting lots of threes, and we couldn't create any offense.
We had no we'd like to score in transition. We had no transition offense.
No, nothing, bro.
No.
We weren't scoring in transition.
And like we had
at all.
opportunities too. We just kept stopping. Like we weren't running.
It was whack.
And we had, and I think a big sign for like the lack of energy was for the entire game we took 54 threes. for a team that has like 3 above average shooters, I think that's just a sign of like fatigue.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Fred
yeah.
took 15, OG took
Totally.
7, Scotty took 11,
Scotty took
Gary
11,
took
dude.
11.
Ugh.
Pascal only took 1, but Champagne 2 for 2.
Chris
But
took
yeah,
5.
like
Yeah.
we were just
Chris
just,
was
I think
what,
that's
3
a
for
sign
5?
of guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Chris had a nice game.
Yeah, if Chris can shoot 3 for 5 every game,
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
let's go.
He's untouchable.
That'd be so
he's
high.
a $50 million player.
Yeah,
He can shoot
yeah,
3
let's
100%.
go. But you know, it's honestly, it's not tough to assume Chris could go like 3 for what, 9 during a game.
No,
Or three
right
for-
now,
three
right
for
now,
s-
I would be surprised.
Yeah, like 3 for 7. Like I wouldn't mind, but I don't really want Chris taking 7 threes.
No,
But
me neither.
it's tough. I mean, what are you really gonna trade off?
If he doesn't make his first 2, I don't want him to shoot any more than 1. Like after that, it's like
I feel like I'll give
yeah.
him 3 if he doesn't make one of those.
okay. I say 3. If he goes
Yeah.
over 3, then no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. So third quarter, we came out a lot more aggressive. I think that people just like we were like, okay, guys, we're a fucking great basketball team. Like we need to fucking pick. up the
I
pace here.
I saw it coming. I
Yeah.
saw
Oh
it
yeah.
coming.
I mean, everybody saw it coming.
I saw it coming. I saw it
Because we don't suck. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly.
the Raptors don't suck. Like as much as our record.
And Portland's
sucks,
defense sucks.
Portland's defense is
Yeah.
god awful. That was the most annoying part. It's like we only scored, what was it, 34 in the first half against
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mention halftime. 64-34 down to exactly 30 points. Like which is just like, dude, what? So we had Fred with 4 early fouls, man. Just because he's tired, man. You can just tell, dude. This guy is.
And then he didn't play against Charlotte because of sore knee.
Dude, I'm like, we need to sit him out for like a week.
For real,
Like a
like-
solid week. Like,
like-
don't play him, bro. Like he's gonna get injured.
I'm
As
scared.
fuck.
to
I
be
know,
honest.
like you even saw him breaking down in that Portland game. Like he was breaking down. Like
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
he was falling. Like just reaching, making bad plays. Tough rebounding with Nurkic. I don't even understand why because he's fucking slow as hell and there's the only guy there. who can
CJ
really
McCollum
rebound.
had 10 rebounds.
Yeah, dude. Like what? He was chasing his shots and stuff and chasing everybody. He was crashing the boards hella.
Yeah.
Scotty had a nice block on Anthony Simons. He fucking swatted that shit. And that was, I just wanted to mark that down. It was really nice.
Made me smile.
Yeah. But I wrote down any threes they hit were so big because their 3-point shooting wasn't as good as it was in the first half, like for Portland. But any threes that they did hit in the second half, like even if they hit like whatever it was, like maybe 5 threes in the second quarter, like every single one of those threes was huge, like huge. We had a couple nice plays near the end of the third. Transition basketball by Pascal, of course. Pascal really started turning it up there. And then I wrote down that Justin's form, like his shot form,
good.
looks so nice. Looks very smooth.
Totally.
For where he's at, yeah.
It's weird to think he's a rookie because I'm like he's an older rookie, right? Like he's like
Yeah,
what?
he was a senior.
Yeah.
Isn't he like 20? But still 22 though.
Yeah,
like
probably.
yeah, like that.
22, yep.
That's the thing too. Like he looks older than 22. Like he looks like fucking 25 or 26. So
He just plays a very it's not really polished, but he just has a game where like he feels the game so well. He's
Yeah.
only 20 actually.
No, he's 20. He's 20.
he's
Yeah.
20.
He's 20.
What?
Yeah.
He's my age,
Oh
Yeah,
my
2001.
god, that's so weird.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's your age.
dude. This guy looks 35, dude. What the
I
fuck?
hate it.
When was his birthday?
June 29th.
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's older than me by like a month.
Dude, I hate that.
Wow,
they're-
I thought he was 22, man.
Or no, 2 months.
I thought
what
he.
the
I
fuck,
thought he.
man?
I thought he was in college for 4 years.
I'm mixing up him and his brother like their college years. But like
Yeah.
Justin, he has a game where he plays with
Jeez.
like such a
2001.
like the way he can just
This guy looks like
The
he
way
was
he can
born in
follow the ball.
1985.
I hate the NBA.
the way
Sorry, Sam.
the way he's just able to like follow the ball and just
Mhm.
it's like he hasn't played many like he's played what maybe 15 games where he's actually played real rotation minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he just already knows how to read off of guys like Pascal and Fred. And that's like kind of crazy for a rookie of like any stature
Yeah.
to do that. It's just like that's kind of just an innate thing, I guess. Like some guys just kind of have that feel. So it kind of gives me hope for like all parts of his game that he's already got like this. That's like the hardest part is like feel for the game. It's hard to learn that. And his form, like you just said, Luke, it looks pretty polished. And it's just a matter of reps, right? Hitting.
Yeah.
I'm getting that shot down, getting that corner 3 down.
He'll be such a good bench guy for us, man.
He's one of those guys who's I don't think he'll be as good as this guy, but you think of a guy like PJ Tucker,
Oh
who's
yeah.
just carved
Yeah.
out a role,
Yeah.
trying really hard, playing with a great feel, and hitting corner 3s.
Well, who knows,
And-
Sam? Like, Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd say he could definitely be as good as PJ Tucker. Like PJ
Yeah.
Tucker wasn't even in the league for the longest time, and he's only been in the league for a couple of years, and it's on the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
Like Justin Champagne's he's 20 years old, man. Like if he gets all this league experience for you know what I'm saying? Like that is valuable.
I think
valuable.
he'd more PJ Tucker is not a very skilled
Yeah,
basketball player.
I think he'd be.
He just
I think
brings
he'd be
toughness. Fun Justin Champagne facts. He is shooting 100% from the free throw line in the season.
Wow. On how many
9 for 9. But and he is a 40% 3-point shooter.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
9 for
and
20.
how many attempts?
9 for 22. That's not bad though.
Hey.
No,
That's
definitely not.
bad.
Yeah.
Probably all in the corner.
And I mean, like when you're barely getting hardly any minutes in a game, and you come in especially this Portland game, you shoot 2 threes and you make them both. Like, all right,
Yeah,
dude, I hate that NBA players are my age now.
dude, that's fucked.
I think I'm older than Scotty. Actually, no,
this
he's
draft
20.
is the
How am I older?
this draft
I'm
is the
older
first
I'm
year
older
for me.
than Scotty.
You're older than Scotty. That's so weird, dude. I'm like Paolo Banchero is younger than me, stuff like that. I'm just like, come on, dude.
It's whack. It's weird. It's very weird. But honestly,
that's a weird feeling.
these dudes are freaks of nature. Like, okay, you look 20,
Yeah.
but let's.
But like
be
I
real.
never had like the right perspective until now when I'm actually their age. 'Cause like I was
Yeah,
younger, and I was
yeah.
like, oh, I could still grow 10 inches
Yeah.
and gain 30 pounds, you know. But now it's like I'm here and I'm just the same. I'm the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
Yeah.
160
The same
pound,
little weenie mother.
same little stick boy.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. There's always the pipe dream of a person
It's
who's
like my window's closed.
5'9",
like-
being like, what if I was 6'2"?
It's like I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm out the game.
Yeah, I'm not getting
My whole thing was like, there's a story like Michael Jordan's parents weren't very tall.
And none of his
And MJ
brothers are
Greer's
over.
6'6".
Yeah,
No.
none of his brothers
They're
are over
all
6
6
feet
feet.
tall.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that,
Yeah, so I was like,
that's so weird.
MJ 6'6", freaking nature. It'll happen to me.
Can you imagine if MJ got like one different gene now and then he wasn't Michael Jordan?
Yeah, like that's just
I know.
crazy, bro.
And he was just one of his brothers.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird because
Like
like
talk shit to his brothers.
I remember like just watching the Last Dance documentary and like some of his brothers came and like sat down and like did an interview. I'm like, and they look like tall people. They look like tall people, but they're actually not. And then you think about Michael Jordan and he's like, yeah, I mean Michael Jordan was under average NBA height, 6'6". Like that's like, I mean that's still a tall dude, but like, you know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about this. Anyways.
That was weird.
Anyways, so fourth quarter, just to wrap up this stupid fucking game. Yeah, we're trying so hard to make up a scoring deficit, but
Honestly, like,
you know,
we got it to 4 points.
we did get to 4 points, but at least for the first half of the third quarter, or even more, I'd say for like 3/4 of that third quarter, we weren't even playing any defense, man. Like we were just scoring in transition. Pascal was making all of our points. We're just like hoping they don't score on an offensive possession.
Yeah,
and
they start slowing down.
Oh, yeah.
We got lucky.
We looked hectic out there, both ends, but I understand why. We're just trying to put points on the board.
Yeah.
Struggling really for anything. Pascal's just giving it his all. Portland seemed flustered with the change of pace, though. They really couldn't slow the game down. They really couldn't control the pace of the game.
Yeah.
We had it the whole time because they knew that as soon as we had that ball in our hands, we're running as hard as we possibly can. Delano Banton was out there making really great passes. I think he hit 2 threes for us. Or maybe that was in the Charlotte game. Sorry, Charlotte game. But Delano
he made
1-3.
He made one.
Yeah, he made a 3, and Delano was doing really good, man.
I love him in transition. Also, he's killing it in the G League.
Dude,
Killing
Oh
it.
my
yeah,
God,
man.
man.
He's shitting on it. It just goes to show I want Delano as a part of our core. I want him as a part of our core in the future. Him and Scotty are gonna they gotta have a special dynamic with each other.
I kind of like him being in the G League for the rest of the season, though. And then
I wouldn't mind it
because I feel like he's gonna develop more in the G League than he will in the actual NBA.
But that's the thing is it depends on we're gonna get into the trade stuff, but it depends on if we don't really make any big moves in the trade deadline. I'd rather have him playing with us
true,
and then playing 7 guys on a consistently playing a 7-man rotation. Portland seemed frustrated. Delano was really good. He's keeping up with the pace and making great decisions. He just was in there and he just flowed right in. He wasn't the one guy. Out how sometimes Yuta can be like that.
Yeah.
Yuta can be like when you put him in, he's the odd guy out and you can tell. Whereas Delano seems like he was just keeping pace and keeping up with everything. It was great. Gary heating up in the fourth quarter. It was so great to see him. Shots finally falling. How many threes does it say how many threes did he hit?
4
for 4.
4 for 11.
Oh, altogether. In the
fourth quarter, 3 for 4, which was really great. And he hit a couple mid-range shots as well. Does it say what his field goal percentage was in the fourth quarter?
He only shot 3 or 4, and he only shot threes in the fourth quarter.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
think in the third quarter.
So yeah, we cut the lead to 4. Very impressive, extremely impressive, because we trailed by 34.
That's actually pretty crazy.
It is wild.
If
It
we
is
won
really
this game,
wild.
that would have been insane.
That would have been pretty crazy. But
Unreal.
honestly, yeah, we just couldn't make up for it. Like
Nah, we were in too deep.
yeah, we were in much too deep,
Our hole was too big.
too big. Because the thing is, like, you cut a lead to 4, but that's the thing is, like, you had to work so hard to get there. So although the lead might seem like 4, like it's not very much.
Yeah.
Then somebody like Anthony Simons comes and hits a fucking 3, and now it's 108.
That was a big 3.
Yeah.
Alvin
Yeah.
Williams kept saying, like, if you want to come back, you have to play perfect basketball.
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's exactly
Yeah.
right.
And like it's so annoying. Like we have like a big 3, and then like fucking CJ Ellaby would come make a tough layup. I'm like, this guy, dude.
So yeah, Anthony Simons really cooked us. Him and CJ McCollum cooked us all game. 5 minutes left in the third quarter, we finished with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We have 83 points. We finished with 105, meaning we scored 22 points in 5 minutes. Just pretty fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Like, that's pretty wild to score 22 points in 5 minutes. And then our final was 114-105. We ended up losing this game. I'm very disappointed with how we played in the first half of this game. I wish we would have played our bench more.
Worst half of basketball I've seen for a long time.
It's pretty
It
bad.
was worse
Yeah.
than Utah Jazz
It
one.
was
But to be honest though,
Oh, yeah.
with you guys, I still felt more of a gel than we have in some of our worst losses in the past. That's why I wasn't super concerned.
Well, the second half was good. Like
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, even though, like, honestly, the reason why we did so bad in the first half was because we were just like, we're still stuck with this 7-man rotation. We're tired as hell. We're not trying on possessions. Like, it's not because we're not meshing with each other. It's because we're so fucking tired. So honestly, I'm really not that concerned with the first half. It just literally has to come down to
No, I think
exhaustion.
No, that's definitely. I mean, Fred
Yeah.
was 2 for 12, OG 2 for 9,
Mm-hmm.
Gary 1 for 9. It's like they got Scotty 0 for 6 in the first half. Like this.
But
is,
yeah,
it's like what just they're exhausted, dude. They're running up and they're practicing all the time too. They're traveling all the time. Jet lag exists. It's just like.
Especially
That's why I wonder, like, how much of Fred and Scotty being held. Like, I mean, we're recording right now, so I don't know if they're gonna play tonight.
Yeah.
But of Scotty and Fred getting held out against the Hornets was about just
Rest.
back to back. Let's give them, like, yeah, it's like maybe his knee is bugging him, but let's give them a quick break. Like, you know, we'll see what we. Yeah, their game time decision against the Bulls.
Yeah.
I
I think it was more just for rest, to be honest.
yeah, it literally was,
Especially
yeah.
Fred.
I hope so.
Especially
I hope
Fred.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope he ditched this 7-man rotation. I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, like, if you want to build up some endurance and some stamina, sure, for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
not
like
for the whole season.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
now,
sustainable.
honestly, though, based on the Charlotte game, which we're going to get into, I think that we can actually start trusting our bench a little bit more.
I hope so.
And,
hope so.
I mean, minus Fee, but I mean, Malachi got out there and was, like, at least for the first half.
Hey,
I
man,
was watching, like,
I've got
doing
some
well.
praise for Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi had a
I've
good
got some
game,
praise
dude.
for Malachi.
That's very
man.
That's what
happy.
I'm
Do you guys
saying.
want to?
So yeah,
Do you wanna
let's
get
switch
into
into
them
the
right now?
Charlotte game. And who's that? Was that you or Sam?
Sam.
That was
Oh, all
that was
right.
mine.
Samuel
All right.
Kenny.
Sambo.
All right. This was a really fun game. Before the game, we got the news that Fred and Scotty were both out. Fred with some knee soreness, and then Scotty with wrist swelling. So our starting lineup was massive: Pascal, Gary, OG, Precious, and Chris. So basically, it was at first this scared me, and all game it was kind of worrying me because when you look at this lineup, the only guy with an above-average handle for his position is Pascal in this lineup, and maybe Precious,
Above average
what
first
Fred's gonna do
position,
is
yeah,
handle.
but like
Yeah.
also.
You know, at the same time,
He's not
though,
gonna
like
do
if
much.
you look at Charlotte, they're not an incredibly big team. You know,
No.
so
No, it's just
No.
Mason Plumlee.
Yeah.
And even then, like they didn't. They especially
he's
because
not.
they've been playing like PJ Washington as a backup center. He's only 6'7". He got kicked out right away. So.
Yeah. And before this game, I was noting, like, recently the Hornets have been really playing really well. They've got a top 6 offense in the league. And their defense, though, is atrocious. It's a bottom 5 defense.
well, LaMelo Ball's on the team,
And-
so the defense can't be that great.
LaMelo's a good defender.
He is a good defender, but I'm saying, like, he's so offensively oriented. Like, unless he's on a good defensive team,
Doesn't
then
make much difference.
then his defense
Yeah.
doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's true. He's not.
Their
he's not
their
like
only
an
good
anchor.
like defender is like their only good defender right now is Cody Martin, really. and like Kelly Oubre tries. That's kind of it
Dude,
right now.
what
for
the
them.
hell is up with Kelly Oubre's hair?
Okay, good. I was
what
gonna
the
mention that.
fuck
That's why I
was,
hate it.
dude, like I
It
don't
used to look
mind.
good.
I don't mind if your hair is blonde, like whatever.
But it's, like, shaved all weird,
But
and
like,
it's sticking in the
yeah,
front.
like he
Yeah.
gelled it or something.
Yeah.
Like to look like a.
It looks super anime.
It looks like a. I don't even know how to describe it. Like a white newscaster's haircut. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's like gelled up in the front. You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
no.
Weird. It looks very weird.
I didn't realize who it was at first because I just was so used to seeing him with long hair. And I
Yeah,
was
I'm like,
Oh,
"Is
look!
that
It
Kelly
looks.
Oubre?"
It looks horrible. Even like this
Yeah,
haircut,
it's-
where it's like all blonde, was bad.
yeah, and it's
I wonder
too,
if he
it's
was
too
like-
long. It's too long to be like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with his hair. But
His old hair was
Kelly
cool.
Oubre, man, you
Barber
gotta figure
made
out your
his-
hair situation because that shit
made
looks
his
fucking
made
whack
his
as
barber
hell.
mad.
His old hair was
Made his
cool.
barber mad, and he got
Yeah.
him.
No, his old hair was cool. Like on
yeah.
Phoenix. Yeah, I vibed with it. I just
Yeah, he's always gonna have the same hair.
Well, there's all those
so I was like
memes.
taken back when I.
There's all those memes. Like every girl on TikTok loved Kelly Oubre. Remember that? But and I mean, they haven't talked
Now
about
he's
that.
made himself look ugly as hell.
He did that on purpose. He didn't like the attention.
Wants,
Yeah,
he doesn't want the attention.
That's actually
Yeah.
might be even true, to be honest.
He's like, "Yo, Barbie, give me the
He's getting
worst thing you can
he's
think
getting
of.
objectified.
Yeah.
Hook up with the ugly
Yo,
shit."
man, fuck my shit up.
Yeah, bro. He's like, "I got you, fam." All right,
Yeah,
Sam.
but before this game, I was worried because the Hornets do like to play a lot of zone. Like that's the only way they can get by on defense. And especially against this lineup, I thought that was going to kill us.
They
They
played a
didn't really
1-2-2
play
at one point.
At one point, and then they kind of just went away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, the theme of this game, man, was Pascal Siakam. Like the guy from literally the first basket until he checked out was just a force. Finishes the game with 24, 12 assists, and 9 boards.
He was our point. He was
on
technically
9
a
of
starting
16 shooting.
He's technically a starting point guard.
He was full on the point guard.
Yeah.
He was full on the point guard. I think his eyes lit up every time he saw Miles Bridges on him, and just took him down low. He made so many. I got a couple passes here I highlighted. He had one where he was running the break and then kind of slowed down and stopped a bit, kind of in the mid range, and fired like just a quick, almost like a no look pass to OG on the baseline, and that was just showed so much patience. And then a couple plays after that, I think he missed a shot, and he had like an offensive rebound tip out to Delano in the corner. And then later on in the game, he drives middle. He draws all 5 Hornets defenders, which he did consistently this game. Spun. The Hornets defenders all thought he was going to go to Yuta because he looked at Yuta in the corner. While in the air, he looked off Yuta, kicked it out to Gary, top of the key for a 3. And man, he is just like
Pascal could
we
be
talked about this. Like
he could be a natural point guard
For
in the
the
NBA, dude. Like
man,
he had 12
his
assists.
ball handling looked good.
Yeah, it
Man,
looked really good.
and I think it was Matt who was making the argument like that Pascal, you could argue, is having an even better season than his All-Star season. Like,
I think
yeah,
I think he
I
is.
think so.
Yeah, like,
I think
and-
he is.
and-
defensively and just more all around.
I mean, like he's only trailing his points per game by the offense, by the stat line of his All-Star season by like
1.6.
Yeah, 1.6, which he's averaging. So in All-Star season, it was 22 points. This one, it's like 21 points. But his assist has gone up
His
by like a
assist-
full assist or
assist
something.
and a half.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
His rebounds are up by 1.
Exactly.
And his turnovers
And-
look the
and he's
same.
just a better player.
And the team is different, right? Like we gotta think about how different the team is. Like Pascal, on the All-Star season, the number 1 option is Kawhi.
No, he was the year after. That was the year Kawhi left.
Is
He
that
was the All-Star.
2019, 2020?
Yeah, Kawhi. That was the year after Kawhi left. He was the All-Star.
Oh right, yeah, right.
Most improved
Yes.
year was
yes.
the Kawhi year.
Yes, but even still, like you like on that team, like not as much to work with, and like Pascal has options, a lot of options now, right? Like just a lot more, like especially with guys like Gary on the team.
Yeah, and like Kyle,
OG taking another like sort of heavy role.
and his All-Star year, like Kyle was number 1 option and stuff
exactly,
like that. So.
Kyle, exactly.
Yeah, he is just he does. I was just had a feeling like all game, like, and no matter what the talent was on the court with them, just whenever Pascal had the ball, I just knew he was going to do something positive with it. Whether it was going to be make a great high level pass to a shooter or to a big, or he was just going to take his time, shoot that mid range jumper, or get to the paint, draw a foul. Like every time he had the ball, I just knew something good is going to come of this because he attracts so much attention. He knows exactly what to do. He never looks rushed anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
just so. I think that's the experience, right? Of like,
It
okay,
is.
I've had a few years of this where
And then,
teams are
like,
doubling me.
I think last year was a good year for him to just kind of check himself a little bit. Just be like,
Yeah,
look,
and struggle. Yeah.
And like you learn from all that kind of stuff, right? A lot of guys go through that, and
It's true.
I think he kind of realized like, okay,
Probably worked out to his benefit.
It did. I think so. He kind of realized like, okay, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm not good at. I'm gonna
Can't be somebody
focus
I'm
more.
not.
I'm gonna focus more on what I am good at. And you could be an all-star this year, man. KD's not playing, so they got to replace him with another forward.
I also think he was the best defender on the court for us this game.
I think,
he had some switches onto LaMelo, and LaMelo was just trying to get him off of him. And he had some beautiful possessions on Miles Bridges. That's what an amazing game. He played less than 40 minutes in the end, so that was nice. A couple other things from the first quarter. Donald Banton at 2 corner threes, which was really nice to see. He was in foul trouble, so he couldn't really get like a big stint on the court.
Shooting them confidently, though.
Yeah.
his form looks good, too.
His form is looking much better.
Much better. He had nice mid-range in that third quarter.
He used to release a little bit more from his chest, and now it's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
A little bit higher.
Yep. I think that's going to help him, too, in the mid-range off the dribble, right? Because he's so tall, he can use that length.
There's less of a hitch in his shot now, too.
Yeah.
I also thought, I'm kind of doing like full game thoughts here because I think that's kind of better. Gary and OG both, Gary with a really quiet 32. First half of it was quite quiet. Like he was just hitting his open threes. I think it was that third quarter and a bit in the fourth quarter, he just started hitting some absurd mid-range jumpers.
In the third quarter when Charlotte kind of made it close.
He was pissed off about the Portland game. Because he did not do very well in the first half.
That was his former team.
Yeah, and he was pissed off. So I think that carried into this game. And 32 points out of Gary Trent Jr. Hell yeah, man. That's
season high.
Yeah, and I thought he did such a good job of playing off of Pascal. Sometimes Gary Trent can get into a habit of forcing a shot, and I thought he didn't do that. Like, he took a lot of tough shots because that's his game. But they weren't like, I was like, why the hell would you take that? Like, you're hot. We need a guy. Like, Pascal can't do every possession, right?
Yep.
So he had like that 1 foot of deep 2 step back. It was just absurd shot. When he's hot, man, he's insane. OG, 8 for 14 for 24 points, just filling in. He had some beautiful drives and acrobatic finishes. And one play that I've loved, it's really like become a signature play the last few games, and you're gonna see it at least like once or twice a game, is where Pascal gets the rebound and OG sprints up, gets a smaller defender on his back. It could even if a smaller defender for OG is a guy his size even too because he's so strong. Pascal throws a beautiful post entry pass. OG gets it, and either he's dunking it or he's getting free throws every single time.
Yeah,
OG's a great cutter.
Yeah,
a great baseline.
Great cutter.
And Pascal always sees it.
He always finds them. OG 3 for 7 from 3. He's been slumping a bit from there, so that was great to see. Just that's an OG. That's my favorite games with OG when he doesn't take a lot of individual like ISO possessions. He does he attacks when there's an advantage there, but we're not running the offense through OG every time down.
Yeah.
I think that's when he's at his best.
I think it's better. He's a
he's playing
complimentary
off guys.
I think he's more of a complimentary player than anything.
And that's fine. Most guys in the league are complimentary guys, and that just makes him. I think that just leverages his skills. Like, he's an amazing catch and shoot 3-point shooter, an amazing cutter, so strong inside. So he just
an amazing defender.
And another great defensive game. You could say every game is. I mean, he's been awesome.
Yeah.
Chris and Precious both started this game. I thought they both had nice moments.
Hit 2
I thought they both
threes
played well
in the beginning of this game.
Yeah, I think they ruled 1 to 2 in the end.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. One was changed to a 2.
The form though.
The form
looked nice and
looked clean.
And he had a few really nice reads. I thought he had one where he threw a lob to Chris, and then he had another where he got the ball in the short roll, and instead of shooting like a floater, he actually made the extra pass to the corner for a 3. And that is just showing like real growth. Really slowing the game down.
I was gonna say I noticed actually a lot of him just getting passing the ball, which is huge for him because a lot of time he doesn't pass the ball, right? So he's making a lot of quick decisions, and I was gonna say it shows a lot of growth from him so far this season.
Yep.
Yeah, and honestly, pretty quickly, because I would say that even like a month ago, Precious wasn't playing like that.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's making, especially when he drives to the basket, he's driving with a lot more authority, a lot more aggressiveness, and a lot less out of control.
Yeah, before it just seemed like he never had I mean, you don't want to necessarily have a plan driving in because you don't want to be super.
But there's a way that you can conduct your body in order to have options, right? Like jump stops are very important because then
it just seemed like he just kind of went in and just went straight no matter what, and instead of trying to do something else.
And then you just throw the ball off the backboard and it just goes way off instead of being like going in under control, having some court awareness so you know who else is out there.
His hands are still bad though. There's one he had this one really good cut, and Malachi saw him and hit him. It was like an easy pass, and he just straight up just didn't catch it.
He's got the world's worst.
And just straight up just
These are the worst hands.
I was yep.
Chris Boucher, man, he's gone to the point now where you know every single night what you're getting from Chris. Yeah. And this was another night.
Finally.
2 for 3 from 3. Man, the defense in that second half was so disruptive. He tries so hard. Like, he is just always diving on the floor. He's always getting his hands in passing lanes. He's rotating to defend the rim. He's just been so awesome, man.
This is the Chris we know and love and miss. We love this.
He's up to almost 10 points a game.
Wow.
And up to almost 30% three-point shooting.
No, really?
30% almost.
That's crazy. He was at 22% for like...
Oh, he was like 10% for a while there.
So bad. But then again, he's another one of those guys that performs well when everyone else is doing well. You can't depend on Chris, but if you give him that kick out for an open three, he's going to shoot that. And when he's going to shoot that and he's got it open and no one respects him, he's going to be like, I'm going to fucking make you respect me. So now he's hitting those shots. And Chris has that attitude too. He has the attitude of like, you know, I'm going to fucking hit the shot in your face. I don't care how weird my form looks. Dude, Chris is he not one of the best free throw shooters on the team? Like, he's got such a weird shot for him, but
he gets to the line a lot for a guy who
and he makes
doesn't have much of a handle or anything.
He has double-digit points in the last 8 games.
Wow.
Which is huge for a bench.
The best defense of his career.
Yep, definitely. Definitely
he's
best
shooting free throw.
He's made at least
he's
2
shooting
threes.
76 from the line.
And he's made at least 2 threes in the past 6 games.
Yeah. Whew. He's
Let's go, Chris.
Yeah, man, Chris has really turned his season around. It's been
Ever
like a
since,
good month and a half.
I was so scared at the beginning of the season. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Ever since that Cleveland game where we were like our roster was decimated, he had that bad game.
Yeah.
He completely turned it around.
He's completely turned his season around, man. He's an essential. Most of the times, if you're winning a game, Chris Boucher has a hand in winning that game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and he did that. Yeah. And then Luke's guy, man, Malachi Flynn. I didn't think he was going to get time, but Delano got that foul trouble. Malachi came in, did his thing. Like, he was 1 for 3 from 3. He had a couple really nice drives. He had one in the first quarter where he went baseline, finished.
Yeah,
with
right.
the
one in the
left, and then he had a
fourth
beautiful. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was nice.
Blew by Kelly Oubre, and then
the one-hand scoop. Oof.
Looked like Kyle Lowry, like
he
falling down like that.
He looked really nervous at the start, and he made just some like shaky passes. And I kind of felt bad for him because I was like, man, like anybody would be so nervous in that situation. Like, there's been so much drama with like his dad and everything, and it's like if he plays bad, like this probably was like his like do or die moment. Like if he played bad, that was it. That was it for him.
And one thing that I was happy about that they did with him is that they played him with Pascal, so he didn't have the burden of he was the secondary playmaker.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't have to go in, like, get the guys into their sets. He could just play off Pascal, hit an open 3, and attack from that. Yeah. And so he wasn't really having, and I think that's probably a better role for him right now. I mean,
I think so too.
I don't think he has a role when the team's healthy, but
that's kind of where Fred started.
Yeah. Yeah. He was an off-ball player, and it's just Malachi's a young guy, right? I mean, you can't put too much pressure on him.
Oh, absolutely not.
And he's a small guy too. With our team, he definitely got to take some pressure off him, which I think was really good. Like Sam just said, playing with Pascal.
The asset of having a guy like Malachi, and something that you just see that one thing that you cannot deny about Malachi is that his handle looks very, very similar to Fred's handle.
It does.
Like the way that they move the ball, the way they can dribble penetrate, and then if they're in what was the word I'm looking for? Crowded. And when they're crowded down low, they can dribble out of that, which is in a lot of players in the NBA that's impossible. Like they use their size, their small size to their advantage because they keep the ball very low to the ground.
Yep.
And then they're able to dribble penetrate, and if it gets crowded down low, they can actually dribble out of that. And that's one thing I think we see Fred do all the time. He's always dribbling baseline or from the baseline into the middle, and then he'll just go right out the other side. Whereas a lot of players in the NBA who can't do that because they don't have a good enough handle on the ball.
Yeah.
And developing that handle when he's young like this and stuff, I like. That's the only reason why I could see the Raptors wanting to keep a guy like Malachi around, even just to have, is just because he's got the Fred-esque sort of, I don't know. There's a lot of parallels between their games that you hope to develop him into a guy like Fred. But at the end of the day, to be honest, I don't really no idea what their plans are with Malachi, because I'm like, they really want to.
I don't really see a world where he's on the team much longer, to be honest.
But that's the thing is that I want to talk about a little bit about this trade stuff too, because I have my own opinion, and I don't know how that's gonna fit in with your guys. But let's finish off with the Charlotte game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's like I've kind of gone through every guy here. Yuta.
He had a nice three there.
He had a nice three, but just didn't really know he was on the court for most of the game. He's really just not aggressive at all when he catches the ball. He's just looking to move it around, which is not good for the offense. You need every guy on the offense to be doing something.
I think when he's playing with the starters,
advance the play.
I think he's playing with the starters. That's a good mentality to have. But when you're coming off the bench and trying to beat with that bench role, you want to be more aggressive.
Yeah. Other than that, man, it was just. I don't think there's a ton to take away from this. Like, individual performances, guys did well, but the Hornets, like, they played no defense. Like, Miles Bridges was their rim protector for most of the game, which is, like, awful.
Miles Bridges this season reminds me a lot of Julius Randle last season. Do you guys vibe with that?
That's interesting. I think he's a better off-ball player. I think he's a much better.
Yeah, but as far as...
I think his shooting will get better.
I think, I can see Miles Bridges having, like, the same, like, a drop-off year next year also, to be honest.
Well, I don't think Miles is as good as Julius was last year, though. In a way,
no. Julius Randle was like an All NBA player.
Yeah, I think Miles is. I think this is who he is. Like, I don't think he is going to get much better than this. But I think around 18 to 20 points a game with solid passing, and I think the 3-point shot will keep improving. Last year he was really good.
He's still definitely young.
Yeah, so it's like, and he's already averaging 20 points per game. So I wouldn't necessarily, because Julius Randle, how old is Julius? He's quite a bit older. Is he
27.
Yeah. And I wouldn't.
Miles is 23.
Yeah, I wouldn't discount him that quick. But
no, I'm not saying he's gonna drop off completely. I'm just saying, like, I can see him not
being more of a run-of-the-mill NBA player as his career goes on.
Not keeping up this like all-star level play.
Oh yeah,
but we'll see.
It depends, and it also depends on what Charlotte decides to do with their team as well. Because, I mean, Michael Jordan's the fucking owner of the team. Like, I'm sure that they're gonna wanna. Acquire some more assets, because I mean, you get a player like LaMelo Ball, and let's face it, LaMelo Ball is fucking good at basketball, like he just is, right?
Fine, we'll face it.
Yeah. So, but like, if there's any type of guy that you want to provide a team to, it's him, right? Because if there's any guy who you could hope to bring your team to a championship, it'll be LaMelo.
I think from Charlotte's point of view, if they traded Hayward for Miles Turner, that'd be awesome for them. But I would be so mad at Indiana.
Absolutely,
I'd be so mad at Indiana.
Insane. That's so on brand.
It's so on brand. Like, they've talked about doing it. I'm just like, God,
that'd be an interesting trade, actually.
There's Indiana.
If I was an Indiana fan, man, I'd never watch basketball again. If I was
they gotta blow it up, like, they're like,
oh,
Gordon's from Indiana. Like, shut up. Like, what? Also, defense would be atrocious. Anyway,
that's why they'll never win. That's it. Raptors win 115 to 113. Fun overall game, just good vibes in this one.
Yep.
Everyone kind of did something.
Wait, did you say 115 to 113? It was 125.
125 to 113.
Wow, did you even watch the game, Sam?
Yeah, I didn't even watch the second half of the game, Sam. Come on, bro.
God, Sam. Just killing the vibe.
So are we doing...
shitting on Sam.
Just hang up on him.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Are we doing player of the week?
Sorry about the first 40 minutes of this podcast.
We're going to mute him now.
Do you want to do player of the week first, or do you want to do trade stuff first? I'm kind of antsy talking about this trade stuff.
Well, I don't think player of the week's going to take that long.
Let's do
player
of the week real quick.
I didn't even really honestly decide a player of the week.
I think you'll probably be the same as us when
there's one answer, I think, maybe.
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
I mean, did we have to say much more? I mean,
we just talked about him.
He's his playmaking's on a level. His rebounding's been better than Norbert. His scoring, he's making all the right decisions.
Yeah.
He's made a total U-turn. In my thoughts, as a Toronto Raptor,
even he didn't start the season off very well this season, and now he's been able to.
He's playing at all-star level.
Absolutely.
If he was playing at this all season, he'd be a for sure all-star.
And the 3-point shot looks a little bit better.
No, recently. Actually, I was gonna say it's because at least I've just noticed that he's got more lift under his shot. When he shoots the ball, it seems like he's got a great arc on it, and it sems like he's got the power.
It's always in rhythm. Is the thing. It's like he's not shooting a ton, but he's catching like off the catch. He's never pulling up anymore.
Well, it seems he has the energy to shoot that amount of threes. He's very. If you look at his center of gravity, it's pretty low. So he's got a very skinny upper body and a little bit of a larger lower body, and that's how he's able to kind of move his legs in the way he does. But the problem with that is that he relies honestly for a lot of his 3-point shooting on his wrist. If you look at his wrist, and if you look actually back to the bubble season, the season he didn't perform very well, a lot of his 3-point misses were flat. They were off the side of the rim. They just not enough energy to get it there. Yeah, because the ball is coming off his wrist, not because he's actually has the energy from his legs to shoot it. So now when you see him shoot, he's got a little bit more energy. A little bit. You can see it in the shoulders, and you can see it in the base of his shot and in his legs. The shot has a higher arc on it, and he feels more confident because he's taking less threes, but he's making more of them, which is the Pascal we know.
Sam, do you know if Basketball Reference has a stat for catch and shoot versus off the dribble?
No, but I can do a quick look on basketball.
I just want to see how much off the dribble he shot last year compared to this year from 3. Because I feel like that's where he was missing all the time last year, and he's not doing that anymore.
Right. And I think that's also that's the one difference from his All-Star year was that he shot a lot of pull-up threes, but that's like literally the only difference. And I just think he's a much
and he's shooting just a couple percent worse this season than that season, and that was just from the start of the season. Like recently, it's been way better.
Oh, much better. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we'll just get past Pascal Siakam because we know he's performer of the week, and he's just been
if you guys have been watching, you know why his defense is insane. Also, like there's not much more to say about Pascal.
True.
He is our second All-Star, hands down. All right, do you want us to talk some trades? Or potential trades or trade targets? Okay.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna do like a bigger trade deadline episode when we get closer to it. But there's been a lot of news going around, so it's good to. It's fun. I'll talk about trades forever, man. It's so much fun.
Me too, dude. I love this time of year.
I would just want to say this before we begin, and this is probably why I'm not really going to contribute to as much about this part of the conversation, and this is because I don't think that the Raptors are going to make any big moves before the trade deadline. I think if you look at their past Raptors history, they hardly ever make any trades before the deadline, and I think it's because we're really not looking to win a championship this year. I could see us getting playoff experience, especially for a lot of our young guys and guys like Scotty, and potentially guys like Delano. I really don't think that I don't really think we're going to see any meaningful trades until the off season, and that's just my opinion. And I don't know. I don't see us making any big trades, and what we would have to give up in order to get these trades, I think we don't want to get rid of our core. Like we don't want to there's definitely guys out there.
They said that Pascal, OG, Scotty, and Fred. No, they didn't say Gary. They said Fred, OG, Scotty, and Pascal are untouchable.
Okay, well they're untouchable, but I could also see Gary being on that list as well. Like from what I've been reading in some articles, like.
Yeah, I doubt they trade Gary.
I doubt they're not really.
No, I don't think they will. But I think that they're leaving the door open for something like that.
Unless it's just the wildest trade in the world. But I just couldn't really see them making any moves. And Masai, I read another article about how Masai just he's really not into the 7-footer big men type of game.
Well, yeah, we know that.
I know.
I think they got to do something.
It depends. I mean, it depends. It really depends.
I think he's gonna have to suck it up and start liking one of them.
Ooh, I've got a good center right here.
Maybe for a season, but I mean, if we look, the problem is that if we look at the guys who Masai wants to try this new type of basketball with, this centerless basketball. I mean, the guys who we have to work with are all so young, so it's so hard to say that it doesn't work or that we haven't, tried it, because we need to wait until Precious is 26 and Delano's 26 and fucking.
I'm not waiting for Precious isn't good by.
Yeah, that's a long time.
The Raptors have always been a long-term team, though. They've always been a long-term organization. When have we ever seen the Raptors make a completely wild trade before the deadline? Never.
I don't think any of these trades are these aren't
going to be for
Sorry, I'm like putting a damper on this whole fucking trade thing, but that's just my opinion.
Well,
that's
no,
why.
I mean, I don't think we're making a big trade either, but I think we're gonna make trades. I think,
Oh, yeah,
we're
gonna make-
I don't think we're trading. Like we already said, we're not trading those 4 guys.
Well,
for
like
sure.
Goron,
and yeah,
like we
Goron's-
gotta figure that
and
out.
like Malachi could be gone. And,
I could see that.
And
There's a
B,
world
maybe.
where
I doubt. I
Cam-
don't know.
there's a world where Chem gets
I think
traded.
Chem
as well.
gets
Yeah,
moved.
yeah. I actually was.
And,
I would, yeah.
You know, like even guys like
there's a world where Delano or Precious, one
I
of
was
them
gonna
gets
say
moved this
that
deadline.
also because
No.
why not? Why?
Yeah,
Because I don't want
the
them to
guys.
be traded. I
Why?
like Delano and I like Precious.
Okay, but here
I like him
I want
too,
to try
but-
to put a perspective on you. You can't. This is from my experience as a Raptors fan. You cannot get too attached to players that are on the roster right now. I'm attached to the Toronto Raptors team, so I'm attached to winning basketball games. So it's like I trust Masai Ujiri to do whatever he wants to do. If we get, I like Precious, but if we get rid of Precious and bring in Rashawn Holmes, for example, I'm very happy. I know that makes Sam happy, but I'm just saying, like I don't think that I think don't try and think too one-dimensional about it because what we get back he's gonna be the new Toronto Raptor, and then we're gonna think this way about him in 3 months.
And they're going to be young
know,
too.
but-
The Raptors are going to make a trade for an old player.
The
Like,
only
they're
reason
going to make a trade for a guy to be with the core.
Yeah.
the only reason why I say what I'm saying is because if you look at our track record, we've never been the type of team to make those type of decisions. We're always a developmental, long-term team.
But they even said that they're looking to be buyers.
I know they are looking to be buyers, but that's what I'm saying is what are they willing to give up? I know that they've invested a lot in trying to get Precious. They traded Kyle Lowry to get Precious on the fucking team.
We didn't trade Kyle for Precious. Kyle left.
I know he did
and
leave.
then we got Precious in return.
I know, but I definitely think that Masai was eyeing Precious up. There were a lot of teams that were interested
He was,
in Kyle
yeah.
Lowry,
Yeah.
and we had an eye out for Precious to develop him. And like I think that why put this effort into developing players if you're just going to trade them? Like it doesn't
But-
make any sense to me. Like I understand, I get the perspective of not getting attached. I'm not.
No, it's
see,
not, that's what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, we put effort into developing, but then we also want to develop them to higher their trade value so we can get other guys.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. But then again, like we could have said the same thing about OG like 2 years ago. Oh, we should trade OG. I mean, like why not? We could probably get, you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't think these guys have. I don't think Delano. Like personally, for me, Precious I think is a pretty high ceiling, but I would trade Precious for the guys I'm bringing up. But for me, Delano just, in my opinion, I don't like the Delano's ceiling is a really good bench player, and the guys I want to trade for are already really good starters.
I think you just gotta
like maybe like Delano could be a starter, but I see him
The-
more
the
of like a
odd,
realistic outcome is like DeLon Wright sort of.
Yeah,
level
that's
player.
kind of I was gonna say the exact same thing about Dylan.
Who's a good, really good NBA player, like
Yeah,
NBA
but-
veteran, but
But you just got to evaluate who you think has more potential and who brings more to your team and this and that.
And that's fair,
just-
and I understand that, and I would respectfully have to disagree. I think Delano's ceiling is much higher. I like at least personally
okay, so
because
this is where I think you're buying too much into the he's a Toronto Raptor hype. Like there's a lot of guys that are the same skill level as Delano Banta in the NBA.
yeah, but our developmental process is the best in the NBA. That's what I'm saying. We turned
It is, but then-
Pascal, a 27th pick, into the star of our team. We turned an undrafted Fred VanVleet into a literal all-star. Like
Yeah,
that's what I'm
we
saying.
do
Like,
a very good developmental team, but why would you not trade Delano in a Miles Turner trade? And we bring Miles Turner and develop him more?
I don't know. That's why I'm not like totally off to having these conversations. It's just that I don't really think it's realistic. Like I don't think that like that trade would realistically happen.
Really?
no, that's a
I
good
don't
point.
know.
I don't think it's enough to get.
No, I'm not
Miles
saying
Turner.
Delano for Miles Turner. I'm not saying
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm saying. It's like
throw
in
in,
all the situations that I can think of where we have to trade somebody, we have to give up too much. And like and it's just like for me, I just don't see that being worth it. Like
Why do you
I have to still hear some of your guys'
That's what I was
trade.
gonna say. I mean, you don't
trade.
know what we're giving up.
I know, but I've already heard us talk about this before. We've had short conversations about trades, and I don't know. At least I'm just coming from the perspective of
Okay, well, let's give your ideas, and then we'll see what you think.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You want to
Do you want to go ahead first? Or?
Okay, sure. So a big one, I mean, we already talked about Jakob Pertl. I can't talk
Yeah,
about him.
yeah.
again.
I put him off talking
Yeah.
about because
Yeah, so I just want to mention that he is there's a dog. It's distracting.
I know. I can hear.
I
I don't know if the mic's gonna pick that up, but that's hella annoying, bro.
That's loud. I never heard. I know they had a dog, but I didn't hear that. Jakob Pertl. He's a 26-year-old. He's 7'1", shooting 60% from the field. He has the nicest touch around the rim, and that is the type of big I think would thrive with our roster, especially with Pascal's playmaking right now. I think Pascal could find ways to get Jakob open. He draws the double team, and then Jakob's right there. He's a 7'1" guy. He can just like easily dunk the ball. Having just a defensive anchor in the paint, too. He's a great defensive player, and a great defensive rebounder as well. And I just really think that Jakob would add so much to the roster. He's also averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game too. So
he's one of the best O-board guys in the league, which the Raptors do love, right? They love the O-boards.
So I think, but the thing is, I think the asking price might be quite a bit higher right now for Jakob because he's been playing really good recently. So as far as what to give up, like I wouldn't give up Gary in a trade for Jakob right now.
No.
But like if we I would throw maybe I would throw a young like Delano. I'd throw Delano in with like I'd give up a first round pick for Jakob Poeltl.
I would too.
Yeah.
So Delano and a
Especially
first round pick for Jakob Poeltl.
We have to make the money work.
Well, you
a little
need
more.
and Dragic, and then something else would come back.
We'd probably be like, I guess trying to think of this really quickly. It would probably be like, pull up a trade machine. Sam, you can bring a guy.
I'm really thought about I've thought about. I haven't got a chance to talk about Jakob a ton yet on the pod. I think when I'm thinking about trade targets, there's 2 types of players I'm thinking of. One is a big man, but not just any big man. I think that's kind of what Masai has been. It's not like that they're against adding a big man, but it's like they really want to get the right guy, I think. And
not Aaron Baines.
Exactly.
Anyone but Aaron Baines.
Yeah. And I think this season they went like I think like Precious is a very other than the offensive ability, but that kind of defensive impact, maybe a bit bigger. But because this is such a weird team that it really needs a really specific guy to fit with them. I think Jakob is great at that. My ideal guy, who I think will be a bit cheaper than Jakob because he's a little bit older, but it's Rashawn Holmes from the Kings. He's 28. He's on an amazing contract, about 11 or 12 million a year over the next 4 years.
I can't believe he signed that.
He's shooting.
Also,
I know. He's shooting 70% from the field. 70. He's giving you about 12 and 8. Really like versatile defender. Like he actually kind of fits a lot of what the Raptors like to do. Like he can switch out. He's not the rim protector that Jakob is, but he's better than anyone else on the team. And I think he would actually really fit the Raptors in the way on defense that we don't have to like with a guy like Miles Turner, you kind of have to play a traditional drop scheme.
Yeah.
But with Rashawn Holmes, he can be that switchy, like not to an elite level, but he can definitely hold his own at that. Offensively, he is maybe the best roller in the NBA. Think of Kem Birch, but on like steroids.
Yeah, and then
like his push shot is insane.
And I could see him and Pascal would be a crazy 1-2 punch.
Well,
crazy.
And like trading a guy like Kem too, if we could get him involved in that sort of trade. I mean, they're similar ages.
I think if we trade for center, Kem's getting traded.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it would have to be Kem and like another
so like
piece.
This Jakob one I just came up with, it would be I put Kem Delano in a 2023 first for Jakob Poeltl, and that worked out salary wise. And I think that
it would have to be that.
I think that works out pretty well for both teams, to be honest.
Maybe like I guess Champagne being included in something.
Can he be? He's
so
on
it's
a
based on
two
young.
way. Can we trade 2-way?
Oh, that
contracts?
makes it difficult. Yeah, never mind. That makes it difficult. I just think like to get these guys, you have to give up to get, and either Precious or Delano are being is going to be that guy at this point, because I don't think the Raptors want to trade any of their top 5 guys at this point. Like I think they're all just too important to the team.
Yeah.
Like I don't think trading Gary for a center, like we need Gary, Gary spacing so badly.
And I don't think that. Yeah, and I don't think that moves the needle for us.
We just don't have a person to fill that role.
Yeah, and and it doesn't make us any better because we're losing out when we're gaining a center, but we're also losing out spacing, right? So
I also another thing with Rashawn is he doesn't provide spacing in the 3-point shot, but his spacing is almost in a way like he's so dangerous in the pick and roll and for like dump offs and stuff that teams can't, like say Pascal's driving to the rim, that center at the rim can't help over on Pascal the same way, because if he does, Pascal's going to give it to Rashawn.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a bucket every time.
And that's one thing
or
we don't
if he doesn't
have
go to
right
Pascal, no, because teams are fine letting, like you've talked about this a lot, Luke, teams don't care about Precious on the offensive end. Like they'll just leave him. My ideal version of the Raptors is where you have a guy like Rashawn or Jakob with a guy like Precious, because I think Precious defense is that good. And if you could play him in like spot minutes, like think about playoff time, Precious is the kind of defensive center you want out there in the playoffs, because he's so versatile. can run the floor. It's just the offensive end, obviously. But Rashawn is the guy I really want. And there's a report that the Kings have made most of their guys available.
It was like everybody except for Tyrese and De'Aaron.
Yeah, I guess this would be a lot easier if the Raptors just signed Rashawn Holmes this summer, which I thought they were going to do. But
I really thought they were going to.
we'll have to get him the hard way now, I guess.
I think and even you're talking about his spacing. He's shooting 62% from 10 to 16 feet, and he's taking 25% of his shots from there. So he's shooting them at a high clip.
Yep.
No, and something that you mentioned about Rashawn is that he can keep up in transition, which something that kind of worries about Jakob is that he's very slow. But then again, also our half court he would help our half court offense more than anything. So our half court offense.
Oh, Rashawn would help it so much.
Rashawn and Jakob too.
Yeah.
Because Jakob's very slow, so transition, he wouldn't really be relevant in that situation. But having a guy like him in a half court offense, where literally, even because zones kill us. So if we can, he's a good passer too, Jakob. So getting him even in the middle of the zone and doing the whole Marcus Gasol type deal as 7'1" would be awesome. I think he'll get better as a playmaker on the Torontoraptors, just because we do that.
How young is Jakob? 25 still?
26.
26. So he's these are guys I don't want to trade for a guy who's older than Pascal or Fred. Well, Rashawn is a year older.
Rashawn's 28.
I want a guy in that age range, 28.
But if you're going to give up Kem and maybe another piece, then what's really the big deal? Because
exactly, you're getting
Kem's same age as Rashawn, I think, or something like that. Or Kem's 29, I think.
And if you have say you're for the next 4 years, you have a center rotation of Rashawn Holmes, Precious Achiuwa, and Precious is only going to get better. And then maybe when Rashawn is 32 and he's up for a contract, and maybe he's not the same player he was at 28, and then maybe Precious is that guy to take over that full-time responsibility.
I think Rashawn's I think we're the perfect receiver of Rashawn Holmes right now.
Yeah,
I don't think very many other teams are going to give up much for Rashawn Holmes.
I hope not, because we definitely don't have the best.
We don't have the craziest offer. I give a first though for him also. I want to give up.
Especially,
I'm cool again. 1 or even 2 firsts this deadline, dude. I'm happy with our young guys. I don't need to grind the draft like that right now. We have Scotty. I'm good. We can get some second round players.
The Raptors have never been a team to grind the draft either.
No, we haven't been. We draft late always anyway.
We honestly, I think in years past we've honestly given away a lot of our picks.
We gave one away to San Antonio, to Memphis in that Marcus Gasol trade.
And honestly, if it means giving up maybe some more draft capital and keeping a guy like Delano, then I'm probably doing that as well.
Yep.
And letting Delano grow into that backup guard role.
Yep, for sure.
And then you're basically just adding talent because you're giving up a guy like Cam, who hasn't really played a ton this year, honestly. And you're just upgrading that. Rashawn Holmes, the best way to describe him is Kem Birch, but better at every single thing.
Yeah, he has a nice floater too.
That's kind of exactly
the floater's.
He's maybe the best floater in the league. 6'10", so bigger.
Yeah. Rashawn Holmes is known for his floater too, and honestly, Kem Birch is not going to get better than he is now.
No, definitely not.
No, Kem Birch, he is who he is. He's getting worse maybe with all the injuries.
Yeah.
So.
Listen up. Trade us a fucking injured ass Kem Birch.
Yeah, I know you want him, Sacramento. I know you want Kem Birch.
I guess we should. We should lie if they're listening. Dude, Kem Birch is the god, dude.
Y'all
want him.
Yeah.
You know Rashawn Holmes or Jakob Pro.
Would you trade Kem for DeAndre Ayton? I don't know if I would.
No, dude, Kem's too valuable. They would. I don't think Toronto would do that. No way. Can you imagine we got DeAndre Ayton? Oh my god.
Hey, he's restricted free agent this summer.
Let's move away from the center talk real quick. Another version of we need to bolster our bench too. That's been a big thing what we've been talking about. And I think we need to bolster our bench with 3-and-D players because we have none.
Yeah, it's true.
And
all the potential ones we have are too young.
Yeah, or just only doing one of the 3.
Yeah.
And their Speed's doing either.
No, Speed's not giving you anything.
And Utah's defense is fine, but his shooting hasn't been good. So one that I have had my eye on is Kenrich Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Ooh, I love it. Kenny
Yeah,
Hustle.
dude. He's a 6'6" small forward. He's shooting 38% from three this year. Shot 44% last season, and averaging 7 points a game. He's just a great complimentary piece, and just having him off the bench as a shooter, and like again, he could turn into a SVI also, because I've mentioned this before, where I think the Raptors have a problem implementing shooters off their bench. But maybe we can learn from our mistakes here. And
he can play defense.
He can. His nickname's literally Kenny Hustle.
Yeah.
So
and you could get him for a 2nd round pick.
That's what I was gonna say. We can get him for we can honestly like dump off Goran and take in Derek Favors too in that or something.
Sure.
You know, who knows? But yeah, we can get, because Kenrich is way past what Oklahoma City's age range. He's 27, and their average age is like 21. So no, yeah, I think he's gonna get traded this deadline, because why wouldn't they trade him get a 2nd round pick? So I'd love to see us in the sweepstakes for that, because I just think he'd fit so well.
That's such a deep cut pick, man.
I know.
Kenrich Williams. I've got one more. This guy will be super cheap as well. Another sort of in that mold bench wing. Gary Harris from the Magic, who's had a really nice or better year. Shooting about 36% from three. Good defense. Can handle the ball a little bit. He makes about the same contract as Goran, and he's on expiring. So like Goran and a 2nd round pick, just swapping contracts.
If you thought Goran was going to play in Toronto.
Yeah, he's also 27, and he's an unrestricted free agent. So maybe signing him to like a small deal in the summer would be kind of interesting. But just a complimentary 8th, 9th, 10th man sort of guy, and we kind of need those. Like our bench, like there's guys who have potential to be good off the bench, but we just don't have anyone who we know what we're getting from night to night.
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah, totally.
And so Gary Harris kind of provides a little more like veteran stability on that end.
Yeah, and his defense is good too.
Oh, Scotty Barnes is back. Van Vliet remains out.
Okay.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
I'm glad too,
That's
to be
great
honest.
news.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
honestly
That's
great news.
I'm cool. Fred sitting longer.
Yeah.
rest up,
Yeah,
homie.
please, Fred. Yeah, man, it's not worth it.
Take 2 weeks off, dude. I don't care.
Yeah. Honestly, it's facts.
I just don't want you to tear your ACL.
Yeah. Fuck. Get in one of those like cryo chambers or whatever. Spend a month in there.
Oh man, I was watching our clip from today, and that was kind of eerie. Like we were talking about, oh, guys are gonna get injured.
I know, and here it is.
And yeah, man.
Well, it's really not even that like crazy of a prediction, because dude, it's just like
That's how it goes.
like
Derrick Rose.
when was the last time you were overexerting yourself and you pulled something or something like that? I mean, like they're not any more or less human than you. So you know
exactly.
the other day when I was shoveling,
yeah, Sam was a superhuman that day.
Yeah.
But
when Sam shovels, he's a whole different human.
Yeah,
he's not even human. He's like an alien.
no, he transcends into be a godlike being.
Yeah, you guys gotta see it.
It's just like whenever you
Me and
watch like
Pas-
Sam shoveling snow, it's just a bright light in a snowsuit, and you're just like, what the fuck, man?
It's like seeing heaven.
yeah.
I'm just hovering over the snow.
Yeah. Sam just like
No
just
footprints.
wills the snow
Yeah,
out
I
of
was
the
gonna
way.
say, it's like Moses.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't even like shovel the snow. It's like Doctor Strange. He like just
Using the-
transports it somewhere else.
Using the force.
Seems like
Yeah. 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 Fucking right into the Mojave Desert.
yeah. Oh my god, classic.
Oh man.
All right, are we
I
good?
think we're good, man. I want to watch this game. It's coming up soon.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be so good.
I can't watch
I have
it.
just enough time to cook my noodles.
I can't watch. I gotta do school.
Oh, that's too
Loser.
bad.
I'm gonna rewatch it tomorrow though. I'll probably hide the scores second, so I don't have any spoilers.
It'll be a good game.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well,
Looking
now
ahead.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
real quick. We got Chicago.
Chicago tonight. Yeah. We'll talk about that
there's,
game on Sunday.
No Lonzo, no Caruso, because Grayson Allen is a murderer.
Right.
Uh,
An
And
absolute
no
menace
Zach
in the
Levine.
league.
No Zach.
Zach Levine out?
I don't think he's back tonight. Yeah, he's still out with that knee thing.
He came back last game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
So unless
Okay, so he probably gets back then.
Yeah. So we're going against we're going against 3 All-Stars. So,
Yeah.
That'll be it. Well, it'll be a tough game. Their defense isn't fantastic though, so without Lonzo and Caruso. So yeah, and then we got Miami.
Miami on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yep.
nice.
And I mentioned this a couple days ago to these guys. Our next 8 games are against the same 4 teams.
Yeah,
We play Miami twice, Chicago twice, Charlotte twice, and Washington twice.
To be honest, that's fine. I mean, not Washington. I don't
Good
really
teams.
fucking want to see Washington ever again. But the Miami games, the Charlotte games.
Oh, it's Atlanta. Sorry, it's not Washington.
Oh,
It's Atlanta.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Oh, all those games I'm fine watching twice.
Yeah.
It gives
Yeah.
each team a chance to kind of go head to head. I'm actually kind of excited to watch those games.
Yeah. Let's go 5-3. Let's sweep one team.
Yeah. Okay, well, without any further ado, that'll be the end of this podcast. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and to subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating. And also, please leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every single week. Before we head out of here, I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
Alrighty. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.